I think when I was volunteering at the drop-in centre for homeless people, that's where I got all my experience. And they would come in and I'd say, what can I help you with? And they would say, everything on your list. They couldn't sleep, they smoked, they drank, they had anger issues, trauma and stress.
Hello and welcome. So today I've got a very special lady on the line with me, Sally Renshaw. And Sally's joining me from Fremantle in Western Australia today. And she's one of our advanced diploma graduates. And she's doing some fantastic work out there with clients. So I'm really excited for you to hear what she's doing. So welcome, Sally. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi, Tanya. It's good to see you. You're a very busy lady.
I am, but never too busy for you, Sally.
Thank you.
So thanks for agreeing to come on board and just sort of start to share your experience with hypnotherapy. So I think we'll start there. We'll start with, how has hypnotherapy benefited you personally? Where did your journey start with it? What sparked your interest with knowing it?
Okay. So probably about 20 years ago now, a friend wanted to go and get some past life regression. And we went to find a hypnotherapist, but they didn't do that. So we just had hypnotherapy anyway, just for having a go. We'd never experienced it. And then a couple of weeks later, I found that I was eating healthy, finding it really easy to exercise. And then I'm an artist, and I found myself all those pictures that you have under the bed. I was taking them to somebody's shop and going, hey, will you put these on your wall for me, please, and sell them? And I can remember getting back in the car and going, that's really strange. That's not me at all. So that's why I'm really dedicated and a really big believer in hypnotherapy, because I wasn't expecting, I didn't know what to expect, but it happened.
Yeah, cool. So you went into hypnotherapy not really knowing a lot about it, just sort of going through the process of whatever the hypnotherapist was doing. And then you just naturally notice this change start to happen.
That's correct. Yeah.
And that's how it works, isn't it? There's nothing you have to do consciously to make these changes happen.
Not at all. No, nothing. Yeah, you say to the client, don't try and do anything to help me. Don't do anything to against what I'm doing. And that's all you need to do.
So you just naturally found you started to lose weight a lot easier. You had confidence in being able to sell your paintings, whereas before they were just stashed under your bed.
Yeah, it was
What
great.
else changed for you?
I think I just was really interested in that. And it was about the time that I was learning about neuroplasticity. That really intrigued me. I like hypnotherapy and history. I read around it, but I was very busy. I had two small children. I was a sole parent. So it had to just be a hobby and an interest at that point. And then when I got, when the children grew up, it was like, okay, I want to work for myself. What am I going to do and how am I going to go about it? So Rick Collingwood, he's been at Perth a lot of times. So I know he was recommended to me and the academy was recommended to me. So I waited through COVID, and then you and Rick came over.
Oh, so talk to me about that. What did your journey into learning hypnotherapy look like for you?
Okay, it was surprisingly easy. It was incredibly interesting. Like I said, I loved the old masters. I loved the stories. It was incredible. We practiced on each other. Yeah, I mean, and we took a lot away. I keep wondering if I'm so successful because I was hypnotized so many times during my certificate and diploma and advanced diploma. We did a bit of that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it. It's not just about learning a skill set. When we're running these courses, as you know, it's about us helping you to get rid of the things you want to get rid of, to build your confidence, to remove your limiting fears, to remove your limiting beliefs so that you can go out there and do what you want to do.
Absolutely. And we shared a lot of different skills, both with the mesmerism and with the hypnotherapy. I learned a lot. It was great being with my peers and working amongst, and just sort of normalizing it. I tell everybody we go to Hogwarts because when we're there, you know, we had the blindfolds on, and we were like seeing colors blindfolded, all sorts of interesting things. And when you're with a lot of open-minded people, you know, you can normalize that. And what we're doing is, you know, if you look online or anywhere, it's becoming the truth with neuroplasticity. All these things are becoming recognized as just, and we're like, yeah, hypnotherapists knew that years ago, you know, so yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. It's starting to go out of people thinking it's just woo-woo and spiritual to actually realizing it's a real thing. The subconscious mind is a real thing. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean that the modality itself doesn't work.
Absolutely. I know it works. My clients know it works. Your clients know it works. And everybody is saying nowadays, oh, I want a quick fix. And people go, there's no quick fix. And you go, well, hello. Actually, there is, you know, like with 4 sessions, you know, you might have completely changed a problem that you thought you were going to have for life. So I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Sally, you guys have got quite a tight little network and group in Perth. So talk to everybody that's listening here about what you guys have been able to create.
Okay. So from doing our courses with the Academy, we kept each other's contacts and we probably meet every month or two. If we've got something that we want to try, it's fantastic. We can try it on each other. If we have a problem with a client, obviously it's totally confidential, the client, but we'll say, oh, I've never worked with this before. And then we can all engage and work through that. There's been a lot of conversation about vaping, for example, and the difference between that and smoking and working that. So that is incredibly beneficial.
Yeah, I love that. And that's been a huge part of your journey, hasn't it?
Definitely. I agree. I think that network is very, very helpful. And seeing your peers doing incredibly well is also really good. You know, you realize that there is room for everybody there and that it is a new movement and, you know, people are becoming successful.
Yeah, perfect. And you're not competing against one another.
Oh, no. So we're just going to do the Women's Expo. There'll be 4 of us there in Perth. And everything will be shared out. You know, everybody will get everybody's cards. Yeah, it will just be a team effort.
Yeah, I love that. And that's so important, isn't it? Because now that you've gone out to run your own business with this, and we're going to talk about that a little bit in a moment, but now that you've done that, it's quite a lonely thing to do, isn't it? To run your own business and to be your own boss. So to know you've got that support network and behind you all doing the same thing, it's so beneficial.
Absolutely. And having you and Paul there with the business side, that was integral too, because I didn't really have a clue about how I'm running a business. I just remember Rick saying at the beginning, whatever you think you're going to spend, times that by 10, you know. And he's kind of right. You know, it is a lot more complicated because, you know, people don't just knock on your door for hypnotherapy. It's usually people think about smoking or gastric bans. You know, that's kind of, I think, where people will go when they're really, really, you know, desperate. Oh, I'm just going to have to give hypnotherapy a go.
Yep.
Nothing's. Um, but yeah, we're finding it works for so like everything, really, just about everything that people want to make changes with, positive changes about everything. Yeah.
Perfect. So talk to me now about some of the clients that you've been working with and the results that you've been able to get for those clients.
Okay. So my clients often come for anxiety and stress, and usually young women. And I put that down to what's happening in the world, just information overload, workload, and war, and you know, environmental issues. So with them, been having really profound success. People usually come to me for 4 sessions and we're done. And then they might come back for a top up. You know, something else may happen which exposes a different part of that problem. Come back for 1 session and off they go again. That's fantastic. I have people come for 2 sessions and they're fine and off they go. And that's fine for me. Yeah, I think that's the main cohort. But then, I work with people to improve their poker game, help them with insomnia, past trauma. I like the poker. I really want a lot of golfers, actually, because when they'll really be able to see that the handicap goes down, so it will be like concrete. I like that idea.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what you can use hypnotherapy for, eh? To improve your performance in whatever sport or whatever it is that you're doing.
Yes, people either think you're going to cluck like a chicken, or you can only go at smoking and lose weight. So yeah, I need to get out there, and people need to see that things that they thought were conditions for life, insomnia, carrying some extra weight or negative body image, we can eradicate that. And not the memory, but the attachment, and they can move on. And, we all want to help people. It sounds so naff in a way, but doesn't everybody want everybody else to be happy and living their, really a positive life? Mm.
Yeah, that's right. And this is what this allows people to do, whether they know it or not. Hypnotherapy rewires pathways in the brain to take you from the way you were previously feeling to being able to feel the way that you want to feel. That's the guts of it, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, very nicely put.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people also think it's going to be a hard process, or everything that they do to heal themselves, fix themselves is going to be hard, but it's so far from the truth, isn't it?
So quick. I mean, I do have people to come twice because, just want to check in and make sure we've made the correct changes and everything's in place. We're not like really not eating too much or whatever it is we've sort of worked on, just that check in. Um, you know, it can be immediate. It doesn't necessarily even have to be 4 sessions. It can be one session, but just for, to confirm that we're on the right track and everything's running smoothly. I always see people for 2. Um, as you're saying, people think that you've got to go to counselling for a year, and I think that's just connecting and hardwiring in your brain. I'm having a bad time. I had a bad childhood, whatever it is. They don't even have to tell me that. They don't have to tell you that. You can just come in. You've got a problem, okay, and we'll work on it. You don't have to tell us what it is. And I think that is great for some people who may be ashamed or shy. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. We just really need to know, how are you currently feeling? How do you want to feel? And if they tell us nothing else after that, we don't need to know anything, do we?
No.
We don't need
Absolutely.
to be a counsellor. We don't need to be a therapist. We just need to know how to hypnotize them and take them through that process.
And I like to say that to people, I'm not a counsellor. I'm a hypnotherapist. Of course, I've got a great understanding of the world. I'm at a certain age, but that's not my business to go putting my beliefs and systems on somebody else. I just want them to find what they want. Like you say, ask them where they want to be. Do you want to be 70 kilos? Do you want to be winning money in tournaments? Right, let's go.
Yeah, that's right. And so, have you had any sort of really strange issues that you've dealt with and seen some phenomenal results with?
I think when I was volunteering at the drop-in centre for homeless people, that's where I got all my experience. Everything, and people would have profound ab reactions. People standing up, opening their eyes, getting out of the chair. With the mesmerism, really people, having intense feelings and changes. So I did get a lot of ab reactions, probably more than I do with my general clients. Um, really varied, lots of tears there, but release and relief and laughing. Yeah, really kind of extreme emotions, just releasing those and letting them go. I would probably say that's what I saw an awful lot of. And I don't actually follow up with my clients. They'll have an appointment, and then if they are done, I usually get a hug or a fantastic. But if I don't hear from them again, that's good for me because I know it's all just going great. No, it's great. And like I say, if they need a top up, they know where I am.
Yeah, perfect. I love that. I do exactly the same thing. Soon as you don't hear anything, you know life's going well. They know that they can contact at any time, like you said, if they need a top up or they want to work on something different.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? You don't have to continue to see us. Once you've got the results you need, we say bye-bye, flap your wings, you're ready to fly, sort of thing.
Yes, yes. Yeah, how about you? You must get people coming back, but it's for a different issue, isn't it? You can release something like, say you come for smoking. Yeah, that's great. We've given up smoking, but actually you were smoking because you were lonely, and now that lonely feelings come back. We're gonna address that issue. That's how I look at it.
That's it.
Bubble up, can't they?
Yep. So that volunteering work that you did at the start really gave you a lot of experience of lots of different issues really, really quickly. And you fine-tuned and started to master the skill set of hypnotherapy really quickly then, didn't you?
I absolutely did. So I hadn't even done my advanced diploma, and I went out and got voluntary work. The people were very interested in hypnotherapy. The head nurse had given up smoking through hypnotherapy, so she was on board. I went in all dressed up and spoke to the clients and was quite excited. And as soon as I mentioned hypnotherapy, they were all thinking that I was going to make them cook like a chicken. So that was a little bit stressful. And then the nurses started bringing people out of the community that were dissatisfied and untrusting of medical profession or alternative medicine, whatever they just hadn't got the goals or the outcomes that they'd wanted. And that's when I started getting a lot of clients, and they would come in and I'd say, what can I help you with? And they would say everything on your list. They couldn't sleep, they smoked, they drank, they had anger issues, trauma and stress. So I could try everything from my mesmerism, my healing, to all the different scripts, I say, and make them my own. And it was fabulous, really, really incredible to have that privilege of working with so many different people. And then after my advanced diploma, and like I say, I think you hypnotize us to all be amazingly successful, because I went to my friend who has an amazing clinic, and I went, I'm the best, so you really need me. And so that then I started a day there, and it builds up steadily but slowly. I started seeing my friends and yeah, family, people that I knew, they started coming as they could see my success growing. So it started to grow. And with that business knowledge that I've got from yourself and Paul, building a website, all these other things that I have no idea at, I did feel confident leaving the course that I could do that. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And we like to do that because we realize that you can get very, very good at the skill set and become a fantastic hypnotherapist. But if you don't know how to be your own boss and run that side of it, you're going to be quite stuck.
No, it'd be like all the paintings under the bed. I'll just keep hypnotizing the family. I won't go anywhere. So since I started, was it 2001? I now have my own clients, have my own business. I've got a network. I've got you and Paul to support me. I was a technophobe. I remember on the course, do you remember when Paul came in with the QR codes? And I came home and I was like, oh, I can't do this. And I sat, it didn't take me that long, but it took me a while, a fair while. Got all my information. And the next day I'm like, oh, I did that, Paul, I did that. And he's like, did anybody do that? And there was only me had done it. But I was so determined to upgrade my, really primitive skills. And now I have got help, but I can get my way around things much better.
Perfect. And we taught you as well that you can have your website, you can have all your social media channels, but so is everybody else. And so if you're not putting yourself out there, then no one's going to be able to find you.
Yeah, that's right. And it's interesting when you tell people you're a hypnotherapist. I know some people sort of close down and kind of that as well. So people generally like intrigued, and I think, yeah, people are intrigued, and then they start saying, ah, I wonder what I could have hypnotherapy for. I've got a few friends, they want to support you. What could I come for? And so they start thinking, which is great.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. And so for those listening at the moment, Sally is one of our advanced diploma graduates. She's gone right through all of the training, and she's gone out, become her own boss, and doing incredibly well.
Yeah, I am.
You
I
are.
am.
We're very, very proud of you. You're doing absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think it's just a journey that I'm really, really loving. And I just keep seeing where I can go with it. That's the thing. It just keeps growing. Your knowledge keeps growing. The people that come to see you keep growing. So it's quite an adventure, I think.
I love that. And that's how I see it as well. It is an adventure. It is, like you said, it doesn't matter who you see, everybody's got something different. Everybody's got a different personality, a different character. So there's so much, what's the word, variety in all of this, I suppose you would say.
Yeah. So I think, for example, if somebody was thinking of training as a hypnotherapist, they might go, oh, it's all weight loss and smoking. That's a very small part of my clients. So, and even if it is weight loss and smoking, like I say, underneath, it's something that happened to fit in or to comfort yourself, and so that's where you find that you're not doing the same thing every day. Absolutely far from it. Every day is completely different.
Yep. And then with the energy healing with you as well, you sort of went on to sort of grasp and start to incorporate that with your clients as well. And I know before the call, you were talking to me about something that happened with someone's knee. So share with everybody here the results that you got there.
Okay. Yeah. So mesmerism, you can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't. I can feel it coming through me, the energy. And at first you're kind of a bit unsure, what is this I've learned? What am I doing? But you start to really feel the energy, and we worked on each other on the course. And so my friend, yeah, I've got a bad knee, so I work on that. She's seen all sorts of medical practitioners, had lots of different treatment, knees, feet, balance, headaches. It's just so effective, I think. And I like to, when I have a client, because obviously if you've come for a session, one of the first things I like to do is draw all that energy from the mind, all that mad monkey mind, and pull that and ground people, and then you're in the right space, calm and ready for making those changes.
Yeah, I love that. So are you mainly seeing people in person, or are you doing a bit of online with people as well?
Mostly in person. However, what I do is I push myself all the time to try new things. So I was like, who's got a friend who wants hypnotherapy in another state? So I was really surprised by that. I had met the chap before, and I believe that's beneficial. Unbelievable. In fact, in some ways, it's easier.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
I think just that focus is there. Um, I don't know. It just is. It just seems to be really focused. It just seems to work really well. Of course, that person is prepared, and maybe they feel more comfortable in their own home, in their own comfy chair, inviting me in rather than coming somewhere else. But for me, as we are just sort of looking at that face, perhaps it just hones out those distractions. What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting because I see a lot of people from around Australia and New Zealand who, of course, can't come and see me in Melbourne. And they get phenomenal results from doing it online with me.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Do you do the courses online, or is that?
No, no. So they're all done in person. Except for August, we're going to run a course out of Mornington in Victoria, where we'll still be running the face-to-face course, but we will allow a certain amount of people to be able to be online as part of that face-to-face course if they can't come to Mornington. So we're going to give that a trial and see how that goes. We will have a clinical hypnotherapist online with them. So they won't be just online, just observing us. They'll actually have a clinical hypnotherapist supervising them through all of that as well. So it'll be interesting to see.
It sounds good. Like I say, with that focus, let's see, it should work the same way.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
We will find out.
How can I change this? How can I adapt to this is better, you know, and how far can I go? How much more can I learn? Because it's vast, it's incredibly interesting, and it's marrying up with so much that's happening in modern science. It's brilliant.
That's exactly right. In the science, it's coming out more and more, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So hopefully people won't think that you're going to make them cook like a chicken. Soon it will be, you know, just a normal procedure. I know a lot of GPs will send you to a hypnotherapist. They've got no problem with it.
Yep, they realise that there's something in the brain that needs rewiring, and it might be a physical thing, but it's being triggered by the brain.
Yes. Yeah. Look, and there's so much we don't understand about the mind and the body. It's like with the mesmerism, I'm not quite sure how it works, but it damn well works. So I'm just going to keep doing it. You know, the science can follow it afterwards. This is something that's been going on for many, many generations, right?
That's right. Goes back to the 1900s, this whole energy healing side of things. It does, it just works. And the more you don't try to second guess it or work it out, the better it actually works.
Exactly right. You just go with it. I was taught, I think we were both watching Rick, weren't we, the first time? So when we met at the first time at my certificate course. So just watching him, I just do exactly that. I know you do exactly that. And then you might start making some changes of what feels right for you. And that's all right, because you were healing before you met Rick, isn't that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got your style. And so you can learn and then you make it your own, right?
That's exactly right. And it is all a feeling thing. It's not a thought process. It's how you feel in your body when you're in someone's energetic field. And that's what we teach on the course.
Yes. Yeah, it's brilliant. Brilliant. Do you do them separately now, or are you always going to do those as together?
So the level 1 certificate course is all about just learning the foundations of how to hypnotize.
Yeah.
The diploma course is more about moving into the energy healing, the intuitive side of things, the more the business components with learning that next level, really.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing when you do it for people and they're like, what is going on here? And then, you know, some go home, have a massive big rest or sleep, and it's just past. I love it.
I know. It blows my mind every single time.
Still.
To know you're improving someone's life in that way is just incredible.
Yes. Yeah, I find it a little bit naff, sort of saying, oh, you know, I want to help people. It's very hard when you find something that's so effective and so brilliant. You really do want to stand on top of a box on the corner of the street and go, this is amazing, come and get hypnotized. I can help you with all that. And you can see people, you know, you don't want to push people away with that, and you just have to wait. Even in these like 3 years, I still have to wait for friends that have got issues or people become clients, and wait for them to come to me, because all that they need is to want to make that change. And then as soon as it comes to me, it's like, brilliant, that's great. Yeah,
that's it. That's how it works. Perfect. So you are practicing out of Fremantle in Western Australia, that's correct?
Yes. And you can find me, I'm Sally Renshaw Hypnotherapist. That's super easy. And find me on my website. And I have an online questionnaire that you can fill in there, or you can give me a call and we can check in and see if I'm the right hypnotherapist for you.
Yeah, love that, Sally. So you're going to work online with people or in person in Fremantle?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. So I'm in Fremantle at the moment. I might expand. That's my next thing, is to move into some different suburbs. I do think at the moment most people I'm seeing are face to face. So at the moment, I think it'd be nice to have another room or another space. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
keep.
love that.
That's the plan. And or I think also think about hypnotherapy is I can just keep doing this forever. You know, I would never want to retire. It's a skill I have now for life. I can help my family and my friends forever. And yeah, I don't have to retire. I just have to be able to sit in a chair, right? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, perfect. So we'll have down the bottom how you can get hold of Sally if you're out there listening to this and you'd like to get some help and you've really resonated with what Sally's been saying. We'll have her details about how you can get hold of her down there. So I think we'll start to wrap it up, Sally. But just before we do, was there anything else you wanted to share?
Um, just think I really would like everybody to try hypnotherapy, even if it's just to say that you've experienced hypnotherapy itself. I think it's a fascinating um, experience and feeling. I think it's quite liberating. That's what I think.
Perfect. Yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of, is there?
No, no, that like we say, that clucking down chicken and performing, yeah, they use some of the same uh, the same theories, same technique, but there's none of that going on. You can't make somebody do anything they don't want to do. You can't make changes they don't want to change. We're getting rid of attachment to things. We're not getting rid of memories. There's no mind control. It's just, I always say, Tanya, it's just like when you're driving the car, your mind wanders off. It's doing something else, and then we go in, make those changes while you're not looking that you want, and done.
Yeah, perfect. I love that. And yes, we can make people cluck like chickens and bark like dogs, and we can do all of that, but that's done when the person gives us their consent to do that. And it's not done in a therapy session. That's not what clinical hypnotherapy is.
No, no, that's stage hypnotherapy.
It's done for somebody to have an experience of that fun side.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. It's a bit of
Yeah,
fun.
perfect. So I want to thank you today, Sally, for agreeing to come on and share your personal experiences with hypnotherapy and how you're in Fremantle helping people. Amazing. What an amazing job you're doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all my training. And either by giving me superb training or hypnotizing me so I believe I'm absolutely brilliant, which I am now. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You were such a joy to have in the classroom.
Thank you, Tanya. So I hope we'll catch up soon.
We certainly will. We will be back in Fremantle in November.
Fantastic. Oh, I'll be sure to drop in and say hello.
Yeah, perfect. We're going to run a certificate course 1 week, and then the following course, we're going to do the diploma.
Fantastic. Okay, right. I'll get the word out.
Sounds awesome.
All right, Tanya. Thanks so much for the opportunity to catch up.
Thank you, Sally. So for everybody that's on here now, like I said, if you've resonated with what Sally's been saying and you want to get some help, all the details will be below. If you've loved what Sally said and something inside you's gone, I want to learn this skill set, then get in touch with us and we'll be able to help you to explore what that might look like for you. So I want to thank you for joining me today. See you later.
Bye now.